Hi everyone, it's Kirsten. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I've been filming on my channel lately, which has been makeup videos. Today is going to be a video about books, which is why I'm sitting in front of my bookshelf. So, I'm not a huge reader. I'll just start with that. Like, I'm not one of the booktubers that can read like 8 books a month. Like, I don't know. I can't read that fast. I'm getting faster, but I got into reading last year. Again, I used to read a lot in like elementary school and middle school. Didn't read like anything in high school barely, but maybe like 2 books. So this stack I have in front of me is every book that I have either completely read or finished in the year of 2019. So today is March 25th, so pretty close to the end of the month of March. I'm probably not going to finish my next book in the month of March, maybe the beginning of April, because I have a lot of schoolwork due. These are the 8 books that I have read in a total of 3 months. So yeah, I just thought it would be fun to do this maybe every 3 to 4 months and see how many I've read. And then maybe in the future when I'm reading more, it'll be fun to look back at these and see how slow of a reader I actually am. Okay, so the first book that I finished in the year of 2019 was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, or the 6th book in the series. So this is the first time I've ever completed this series. I got the books in August from my friend for my birthday, and yeah, I read all of them and finished the last one I think like the end of January. So yeah, I finished this book in the very beginning of January and gave it 5 stars. This series is amazing. I'm like the same person as everyone else who says, oh my god, it's just so great. But it was really cool to read this series because, like I said, it's the first time I've ever completed it. So I didn't read it when I was younger. I didn't watch the movies. I read the first book, watched the first movie, read the second book, watched the second movie. So it went like that. And it was really interesting to do it that way. So yeah, I loved this book. So I want to take a little bit of a break after I read the 6th book of Harry Potter and kind of make the series last a little bit longer. So the next book that I read was actually on my Nook, and that was Eliza and Her Monsters. So like I said, I read this on the Nook. I don't have a physical copy, so I'm sorry about that. But I loved this book. For me, it was like a pretty slow start. I should have taken notes as I read these books because it has been 3 months since I've read this book. But yeah, I completed this book also in January, and I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was amazing. It took me a little bit to get into it, maybe like 50 pages, 80 pages, something like that. Like I was just kind of like, okay, this is a really slow start. But yeah, as it started going, I really, really liked it. This is obviously contemporary, and I think it dealt with anxiety very well. I will say that. There's like certain aspects I think that she dealt with that I didn't really relate to. However, I think that the way that I think the way that the author really went around kind of showing that she was really anxious, and whenever the conflict happened, I don't want to ruin it, but like whenever the main thing happened that, would obviously more than likely cause her a lot of anxiety, I think that it did a really good job of showing that and not just, making her seem like an angsty teenager that was overreacting. So yeah, I really like the way that the author went about all of the like emotions into this book, and overall I just really, really loved it. The 3rd book that I completely read, so like I said, for the first book, the 6th book in Harry Potter, I had started it in December, but I finished it in January. All the rest of these I read from start to finish starting in January. So anyways, the last Harry Potter book I completed almost the end of January. And it wrecked me. Honestly, I don't even know what else to say. Like, I thought that everyone talking about Harry Potter was kind of just like ridiculous growing up. But then obviously I told you guys that I was able to read the entire series in about, I think it took me maybe about 6 months to complete them all. But I tried to break them up a little bit. Needless to say, I gave this 5 stars. I feel like I just wish that there were 7 more that I could read. Yeah, so I don't really have anything else to say about this. This series, honestly, is amazing. If you're one of those people that weren't allowed to watch it or read it when you were younger, definitely pick it up now. I don't think that it really made a huge difference reading it as an older young person. I don't know, I'm still young. But I don't think it made a difference that I didn't read this in like elementary, middle school, high school. I think that it still had the same effect on me that it probably would have had on me had I read it when I was younger. But I do wish that I had read it when I was younger, because I already want to reread it. The next book that I read was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and I gave this book 4 stars. I thought it was really cute. I really liked the relationship between Jenny and her family. I thought that, why did I call her Jenny? Because that's the author's name. I really liked the relationship between Laura Jean and her family. I thought that that was a really great aspect of this book, and I also really liked the relationships that she had with her friends and boys in this book. I thought that it was just really cute and heartwarming, and I'm ready to read the second and third book in this series. But yes, I did give this 4 stars because while it was really cute and fluffy and airy, it's not the book that I think about on a daily or weekly basis. I'm like, oh, I really loved that book. I am excited to read the second and third one though. I think the second one is going to be a little bit better than this one just because we have all that like character building. So I'm very excited to read the second one and the third one. The next book that I read is the lowest rated book that I've read so far this year, and that was The Book Jumper. Pretty disappointing for me because I thought it was going to be like an amazing book that I was going to super love, but it just wasn't. I don't know. First of all, I love this cover, I will say that. But I gave this book 3 stars, and I don't even know what to say about it. The premise of it was so good, but it took me so long to get into this book, and then the ending was a little bit underwhelming for me. I liked the journey that it took me through. I guess I'll say that. I liked the journey that it took you through in the book world. I thought that was really cool. So the basic premise of this is that there are 2 families that also like they conflict with each other, but they can essentially jump into a story. They can jump into books, and that is what this book is centered around. I don't want to say anything else because I think it's kind of better to go in without knowing a lot about it other than that, so I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I gave this book 3 stars. The next book that I picked up was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I'm not really sure how to rate this one. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. However, I think it's more of like 3.5 because there was so much world building that the conflict and the actual like plot, I feel like, didn't really happen until like the last half of the book. I do have a few tabs in it. I liked it, but the ending of it really left me wanting to read the rest. So yeah, I don't really know. I gave it 3.5 stars because it took so long for me to get into this book. It took me like 2 weeks to get past page 75, and that was just because I had so much going on that I didn't want to like make time to read this book. However, once I got past page like 100, I didn't want to put it down. So I do really like that. I also like love the relationship between the 2 main characters in this book. I think that I don't know. I really like the world, and I think I'm going to really enjoy the second and third book in this series or trilogy, whatever, but the first one was a little bit like hit or miss for me, I guess, because of the slow start. But after the slow start, it was great. Like I love the premise of this book and just like the idea. I also really liked the way it ended, and I chose not to read the like little excerpt from the second book that's in the back of this one. I just want to like fully read the second book, so I only read the first book. Yeah, but I'm ready to pick up the second one and see if I like it even better than this one, because I think I'm going to. The next book that I read is one that I'm very excited about, and it is Love and Gelato by Jenna Welch, and I loved this book. I thought it was so great. I gave it 5 stars. It was exactly what I wanted to read. So after I finished A Darker Shade of Magic, I was like, dang, I really want something lighter. I want a contemporary. I want a little like romance. I just want something like fluffy and cute, and this one definitely gave me all of that. So tabbed it a lot, really liked it. I really loved the writing from this author, and I'm really ready to read Love and Luck, I think is what it's called. I don't have that one yet, but I really want to pick it up. I know it's not the same characters, but I think it'll give me like the same kind of feeling. So after I finished Love and Gelato, I was like, I'm still in the mood for a really cute contemporary book, but I want a little bit more substance to it this time. So that's kind of been how I've been picking my books lately. I actually made a little TBR jar, which I've kept here, and I pulled one out, but then I was like, man, I really just want to read this book, which is 5 Feet Apart. So I just didn't even use what book I drew out of the coffee jar, whatever, and I went straight to this book. So holy cow, I don't even know where to start with this. So I guess I'll just start with saying that this book is the book 5 Feet Apart, and I gave it 5 stars. I first want to talk about this cover. Love, love, love this cover. I actually bought this book on sale with the movie cover, And then my fiance was like, you know, you keep talking about this cover, and he's like, you just need to return that book and get this one because we found it at Barnes & Noble for 20% off with this cover. And I was like, what have I done? Because I bought the other one on sale when I saw it. So long story short, bought this book 20% off, returned the movie edition, which I'm so glad I did because I think that this cover like makes sense for the book, and if you've read it you'll know what I mean, or if you've seen the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm sure that you would understand like why this is important. So anyways, yeah, I love this cover. I know that covers don't matter in the sense of the story. Don't judge a book by its cover. You can judge this book by its cover because this cover is beautiful and the story is beautiful. And that's really all I want to say about it. I'm sure you've all seen the movie trailer. You all know what this book is about. I've also seen from some people that have CF that this is a pretty accurate representation of it. I don't want to claim that I know what it is to have CF. I don't want to claim I know all the symptoms and the lifestyle that they have to live. But I have heard that this is a very accurate representation. So that makes me really happy because this book was just so beautiful. So to know that it means more than just like a beautiful story, that it actually shines light on cystic fibrosis. I really appreciate that, and I'm really excited to see the movie. That is it for this video because these are all the books that I've completed in the year of 2019 so far. And yeah, I just want to say that I am looking forward to making more videos. I haven't posted in so long on my channel, so if there's something that you want to see, whether it be makeup related or book related or just life related, it doesn't really matter. Just let me know what it is down below and I will see if I can make that for you. And without any further talking, blabbering, whatever, I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!